Zemus, the malevolent lunarian from Final Fantasy IV, embodies a hatred so profound that it transcends his physical destruction, manifesting in his final twisted form as Zeromus, a being of pure vengeance and darkness. This transformation symbolizes the insidious nature of bigotry and oppression, illustrating how such evil acts do not simply die with their instigators but instead linger, festering in new and more volatile ways. Zeromus' emergence as a spectral force of rage reflects real-world cycles of violence, where the ideologies of tyrants and supremacists outlive them, perpetuating conflict long after their deaths. Just as historical hatreds resurface in modern forms, whether through systematic racism, renewed ethnic strife, or resurgence of fascist rhetoric, Zemus' rebirth as Zeromus serves as a stark warning. Evil must be confronted and dismantled at every turn, lest it rise again, more virulent than before. Final Fantasy IV thus presents a timeless lesson. The fight against oppression is never truly over, and only through unwavering vigilance can such darkness be fully extinguished. He also embodies a destructive ambition rooted in supremacy and xenophobia, mirroring real-world racism and ethnic conflicts. As a Lunarian who despises the inferior people of the Blue Planet, Zemus seeks out to cleanse the world of its inhabitants and reclaim it for its own race, employing manipulation, violence, and even genocide to achieve his goals. His ideology parallels historical and contemporary forms of racism, such as colonialism's justification of subjugation under the guise of racial superiority or ethnic cleansing campaigns, where one group sought to eliminate another based on perceived inferiority. Zemus's manipulation of Golbez and the brainwashing of the Red Wings further reflect how real-world oppressors exploit propaganda and indoctrination to turn people against their own kind, similar to how systemic racism divides societies through institutionalized prejudice. Even his defeat at the hands of a united front, Cecil's party, which includes humans, dwarves, and even a redeemed Lunarian, underscores the necessity of solidarity in overcoming bigotry. Zemus's hatred persists even in death, manifesting as Zeromus, symbolizing how racism lingers as a destructive force long after its ideological leaders are gone. Final Fantasy IV thus uses Zemus as a cautionary tale about how the dangers of supremacist ideologies and the cyclical nature of hatred, an ever-relevant theme in a world still grappling with racial and ethnic strife. Despite this, his greatest achievement was his masterful manipulation of Golbez, which not only demonstrates his psychological cunning but also allowed him to wage war on the Blue Planet without direct confrontation. By exploiting Golbez's buried trauma, his childhood abduction, and the murder of his parents, Zemus twisted him into a ruthless enforcer, weaponizing his pain and suppressing his true identity as Cecil's brother. Golbez's role as Zemus's puppet was devastatingly effective. He orchestrated the theft of the crystals, commanded the Red Wings in brutal attacks, and nearly brought the destruction of the world, all the while believing he was acting of his own will. This chilling control underscores how systematic oppression operates, as those in power often manipulate others into perpetuating cycles of violence without realizing they are mere instruments. Only when Golbez's mind is freed, first by the Lunarian whale influence, then by Cecil's refusal to hate him, he does break Zemus's hold, illustrating how resistance to manipulation requires both external intervention and internal reckoning. In this way, Golbez's tragic arc serves as the ultimate testament to Zemus's power, showing that the most insidious forms of conquest is not through force alone, but by turning a victim's own heart against them. His chilling telepathic declaration, "You are entering into my realm, the Zemus Zone. No one can ever escape from my minions. Perish in the darkness before you reach me," epitomizes his arrogance, cruelty, and godlike disdain for those who he deems beneath him. This taunt is not just a threat but a psychological weapon, reinforcing his belief in absolute domination. By naming the lunar depths his personal domain, the Zemus Zone, he asserts ownership over both space and fate, framing himself himself as an inescapable force of nature. His warning that no one can escape his minions underscores the reliance on his manipulation, as he spent the entire story corrupting others, like Golbez and the Four Fiends, to do his bidding rather than facing the party directly. Yet his command to perish in darkness before reaching him is particularly revealing. Zemus doesn't want just victory, he wants his enemies to despair, to acknowledge their powerlessness before they die. This speech crystallizes his role as a villain who thrives on control, both physical and mental, while his refusal to confront the party personally, until forced, highlights his cowardice beneath the bravado. The implications of this moment extend beyond mere intimidation. In the narrative, it marks the final gauntlet before the party's ultimate confrontation, emphasizing how Zemus's influence has poisoned even lesser lunar sanctum itself. The Zemus zone is a microcosm of his ideology, a place where his will is law and resistance is futile. Yet his arrogance blinds him. His taunt becomes ironic. As the party does break through, proving his power has limits, this mirrors real-world tyrants who believe their authority is unshakable, only to fall when challenged by collective resolve. Moreover, his invocation of darkness as a weapon foreshadows his transformation as Zeromus, suggesting that hatred, once unleashed, cannot be contained. It simply mutates into something even more monstrous. Ultimately, this speech defines Zemus as a villain who rules through fear, but is hollow at his core, a fanatic whose grandiosity masks his fragility. When the light of the hero's determination finally reaches him, his reign ends, not with a final dignified stand, but with screams of denial, as even he is consumed by the darkness he sought to wield. Cecil Harvey's journey is one of redemption, a fallen knight who confronts his past, embraces his flaws, and rises as a true hero through compassion and perseverance. In stark contrast, Zemus embodies the irredeemable, his hatred so absolute that it refuses to die even when his physical form is destroyed, instead festering into the monstrous Zeromus. His inevitable defeat is not just a triumph of light over darkness, but a testament to the futility of his ideology, a warning that hatred, no matter how powerful, is ultimately self-destructive. Where Cecil grows through humility and love, Zemus clings to the delusions of supremacy until the very end, consumed by the same darkness he sought to unleash upon the world. Their opposing fates reinforce Final Fantasy IV's central theme. Redemption is possible for those who seek it, but those who revel in their own malice forge their own ruin. Zemus's legacy is not one of conquest, but of ash and echoes, a cautionary tale of the void that awaits those who refuse to let go of their hatred. Thank you, dear viewer, for listening. Please subscribe, share, and comment telling me what you thought of Zemus and Golbez, and let me know what you want discussed in the future. Goodbye.